Hello, my friends. This is Deepak Chopra, and it's a great privilege for me to speak to a storyteller today, Sundar Nathan. I met him at an airport recently, and we had a conversation. And I'm very excited to talk to him about his latest venture, which is called the Naraka Files. So, Sundar, give me a history about how you came to do this project, the Naraka Files.
Deepak, I spent many years in Silicon Valley and been working as a tech marketer, but I've always had a deep passion for mythology, starting from my grandmother and my mom telling me stories from the Indian epics. And I resolved to write something that would actually share our heritage, the Eastern heritage, the Indian heritage, combine it with a fantasy, revisionist, supernatural story with interesting characters. And so I really started the research, and it became, larger and larger as it went. And it turned into a sort of an epic story. And it's been a fantastic journey doing the research and coming up with the story.
So I just saw the cover of your epic story. Could you show it to our audience right now? Can we?
Sure. Yeah. So this is the cover.
Okay. So of course I know what the cover means, but explain this particular cover to our audience because they're not familiar with this particular story. So go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things, Dr. Chopra, is I've created mythical creatures. So actually in this cover on the left, as you can see, there's a lion-like creature with wings, and there's a battle going on. And in fact, my protagonist is derived from the Ramayana, and he's Ravan, the person that goes on to become the demon king. And he's the antagonist in the ancient epic, but I decided to switch sides a little bit. So he's sent into the jungle for a trial of 7 days, and he encounters this mythical creature. Unfortunately, he's forced to battle and kill it, but he rescues its baby, and that's what you see on the right here. He tenderly carries the baby away, and the baby imprints on him, and that's becomes his close friend and eventually his vahana, or his vehicle.
The baby becomes his equal.
Yes.
So he befriends the demon's child, and the child grows up to be similar to Ravan, but this time Ravan is the protagonist. He's not the enemy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, one of the interesting things is the world we live in now is we tend to look at those that are different from us, possibly with judgment, and we may paint them as evil or wrong. And what I've tried to do here is start with a teenage Ravan. It's much later he becomes the demon king and a very evil person. But what I've tried to do is start with the notion of a teenager, and nobody's born evil. So we make a set of decisions along our lives to move towards the light or move towards darkness. And so we all do. And so here what I've tried to portray is that Ravan starts off, as a good person and a very devout worshiper of Lord Shiva, and he's also a great musician and a great warrior.
So the non-dual traditions, wisdom traditions, do in fact say that good and evil are opposites of a deeper reality, and that deeper reality, of course, is infinite. So on the one side, you have what we call evolution. On the other side, we have entropy, destruction, and you can kind of phrase that in many ways. The good is anything that supports truth, goodness, beauty, harmony, love, compassion, joy, equanimity, and ultimately transcendence. And evil, it's very interesting. As you were just speaking, I saw this book on my desk, Aghora, and the
Hmm.
left hand of God. So,
Yes,
both
powerful book.
yeah. And of course, Nisargadatta Maharaj in one of his lectures said something very beautiful. He said, the sinner and the saint are merely exchanging notes. The saint has a
Mm.
past, the sinner has a future. And
Mm.
when you transcend to your true self, these categories actually become irrelevant. Would you agree with that?
I think so. I really believe that each and every one of us has great capacity for goodness, but also great capacity for violence and evil. And so, the question is, as you mentioned, Dr. Chopra, is do we choose to transcend, move towards enlightenment through the various approaches that we talk about, yoga, meditation, or do we move towards making the decisions, the small decisions every day that move us towards darkness? But I do agree that, you know, you've said it so many times, is with Rumi's quote, beyond ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there.